Hi everyone, it's me, Spring, the fiber enthusiast, and welcome to the channel. So today is flame working day, and we're going to play around with some Murinni again. These have the design in them. They're really cool being made, but you get them in these little tiny pieces, and then you put them into your work. And it's a lot of fun. And in the last video, I said that I would try to get you a closer, better view of what this looks like when it's actually opening up the pattern on your bead. So we're going to work with a black bead, so that way, hopefully, you can see this really, really pretty green and white real well. All right, so most of you already know that this channel has all kinds of different things here to check out. Everything in the fiber arts world, knitting, needle tatting, crocheting, Tunisian crochet, weaving, spinning, blending fiber, all kinds of different things, all in different playlists. This is only one section of what happens here on the channel, and I invite you to check out all kinds of other things in the other playlists. So as far as Lampworking Day, basically all it is I'm on a journey learning and playing around making beads and designing beads. I am not teaching any demos or telling you that this is how you have to do it. This is just simply a journey I'm on, and if you want to come and watch and hang out with me and follow my journey, I invite you to join me on my Lampworking videos. If this isn't your thing, that's okay. Please feel free to go check out any of my other videos in my mini playlist. So how this works is I start the torch, let it run for just a second, and then I mute and do a voiceover because this torch is loud. So let's go ahead and get started. And we're off. 2 times the speed. All right. As I said, I was going to make a black bead and put those on the black bead. So we're going to heat up some black glass rod and the mandrel and create a footprint. My footprint was a little bit too small in the long run, but I made up for it in clear glass. These are always so cool to do. Each one seems so different from the next. All right, so the standard thing here, I'm just adding black glass, getting it to the size that I think I want for my footprint, and then I will heat it up and create a shape. Zoom you in just a little bit here. And away we go. Trying to keep everything in view for y'all. When I zoom in like that, it's such a smaller space, and I'm trying to keep everything in view. Except for when I switch hands and go back and forth, you can't see that. All right, so again, as in last week's, we are heating up the bottom of the Murinni and spot heating the bead. And that way it sticks right away to the bead. And now while I'm heating up this clear, I am trying to keep my bead warm but not heat the Murinni itself. Now I put the clear on there and I noticed there was some scuzz, so I tried to swipe it off and I was just making a bigger mess. That happens. And finally I got irritated and grabbed the tweezers and started pulling that scuzz off. Say, all right, take it off and we'll re-add some clear to the top. So the next is to hold the bead to where it stays warm in the flame, heat the clear glass, and pull with the tweezers off the scuzz off of it. So yeah, this was quite always a fun and interesting thing to do. Try to keep that warm but not overheated, and heat the clear glass to melting point and then pluck off all this clear that's ugh, and start again. This stuff happens. It's just, you work through it. All right, now I got some clear on there that doesn't have a bunch of scuzz on it. All right, so I'm just heating up that clear, just the clear, and then working on the back of the bead, trying to keep it hot, but not too hot. I finally turned my flame down. It was really wanting to torch everything. So just heating that clear and then backing out of it and working on the backside. Heat the clear, and it's just a repeat back and forth. Work on the backside of the bead, heat the clear. Work on the backside of the bead, heat the clear. And you see it starting to expand and open up. And there was one spot that I was having a hard time, so I helped it just a little bit there by pulling it with the butter knife. There we go. That clear didn't want to go down over the edge of it. So we're going to help it a little more. I'm going to add just a little more clear to the top. Let's see if we can get this to expand and open up some more. So there's a little more clear to melt down in there. So I'll heat it up and back to heating the back of the bead and then heat the clear. So it's a little dance and song back and forth with the bead and the flame. It looks so neat when it's doing this. Hopefully y'all can see. I'm going to put in a picture at the end of this video that'll be worth seeing, the difference between it on the bead and what it looks like prior to. So here I'm just taking and helping that clear over the edge by just gently tugging the clear and pushing it over the edge. Which kind of helps it open up a little bit faster as well. I could tell that I was really at my limit there and needed to start adding more glass around this bead because it was not going much further. It had nowhere to go. So that's when I realized the footprint for this bead was really too small, but I made it work. So I'm once again trying to help that clear over the edge and get it to really start opening up, and that way I can finish this bead up. So neat. Look at the difference there. That is crazy. Awesome. But I will show you a picture at the end of the two side by side. It's super cool. So now what I'm going to do is start wrapping from one side of that Murinni around to the other side of the Murinni, and just start building the bead with some clear, because that Murinni is just sitting there and it's not sinking down anymore. There's nowhere else for it to go. So I really needed to get some more glass on around the rest of the bead, and that way I can start distributing that Murinni out a little bit more. At least that's my thought process at this time. So now I'm just going to melt that glass that I just put on there and get it to start being a little bit more full. This is definitely a process all in itself. Adding the clear, melting the clear, shaping the bead. So I'm adding a little bit to the top and the bottom of that bead, and then I got stuck. There we go. Now we're loose. The biggest thing to remember when you do that is to not panic, but the first thing you do is panic. It sticks and you're like, no, let go. Yeah. I'll tell you, I'll put down in the description box a link to one of Miss Robin's videos where she's showing how she did this same process. It's amazing. It's absolutely beautiful and well worth watching for sure. Watching a pro versus somebody who's just learning how to do this as you are winging it. All right, now I've went over the Murinni, completely encased all the way around. Now I'm going to start melting that clear and getting it to molten stage and getting a shape of a bead. And you'll see that design come back once it starts melting down and the clear melts down over it. There we go, a little bit of gravity. Move that glass around. Because I had to add so much more, I end up spending quite a bit of time here working on reshaping the overall bead and not making it look like a ring with a big rhinestone on it or something. My arm starts getting tired and I have to switch arms. And I can get a better angle at a different section of the bead by switching hands. Just kind of trying to move that glass around right there and get it more distributed evenly around the bead. It's only moving the clear glass. It's not moving that design, that pattern at all. Whoops, sorry, I'm out of frame here. Not quite. There we are. All right, trying to assist getting it back into flat on both ends. Not so bumpy and wavy. I get a little disgusted at one point and I grab my butter knife and I start shaping it with the butter knife. Here we are. I knew it was coming. Oh, nope, I had a bubble I had to pop. Now we're going to go and get the butter knife. I see it coming. Here we are. Yep. So I was a little aggravated and disgusted and said, that's it. I'm getting the butter knife and we're getting the shape you want. So I'm heating it up and I'm mashing it down. Both sides. And I'm sorry, I keep going out of frame here. All right. Pop that other bubble. Now we need to melt it. And now we're just going to work on fixing everything we just moved and getting it in a good position. And I'm also fire polishing it at the same time, just making it all nice and pretty shiny. So here we are, side by side. Thank you for watching. Be blessed and be a blessing. Bye for now, everyone.